Hey, welcome back, comic book community. This is Travis Grant, your friendly neighborhood comic book nerd, and today we're taking a look at Eternals number 2. I wasn't really going to do Eternals number 2, a look through or talk about, but when I started reading this issue and started looking at the art, I got to thinking, man, I need to share this art. This stuff needs, if people might not know about it, they might have just picked up Eternals 1 because of the movie or something, and then they stopped doing it, or they might have bought the comic and they didn't even look at it, or they didn't even open it up. But it's pretty cool, and if you have it, you should definitely give it a read, because the artwork's pretty cool. Jack Kerby is doing some cool stuff here, and even the colors are neat in this. It's like the roads for the Inca civilization. But then the next page is pretty cool. Boom, right? It's the spaceship. It's come down to Earth in the Inca, and there's the pyramids, and then you got some Kirby crackle, and it's really cool, man. And you got the pyramids there. Just the detail, the little, man, and even that little line, Kirby did some really neat stuff. Even got the Kirby crackle in the middle of it. I don't really know what the heck's going on in here in this little symbol. And then we got our hero and her dad and Margo and Crow. Crew, K-R-O, Crow. Who knows? I'm just gonna call him Crow. This is a neat panel too, because you can tell it's Jack Kerby just the way the face is drawn, the blockiness of it. But it's like layers, it's like boom, and then she's there, and then he's there, and then it's just, and then you got the background. It's all like layered, and they all have their own. I like it. The inker who did he do the inks too? It's really cool. I don't know. Let's look. Editor, written and drawn by Jack, and you got this guy. Oh, and the letter, I like the letters too, and the colorist, and look, he had a really cool team. Marv Wolfman was a consulting editor at the time. Awesome, cool stuff. But the colorist and the letter, and I like how the letters, they were pretty good. Like even the deviants right here. How it is, just the big deviants, and he's yelling it to him, and he's like, well, I don't represent Earth, but we aren't to mean no harm to him. But this guy, he has some nuts on him, because he's yelling at him. Because they got beat once, and it goes back and Icarus will tell the story later on in the comic. But he's yelling at the Celestials, and he's like, hey, I'm a deviant, and we're not going to stand for this junk, and the Celestials don't like that. They're shooting their lightnings and stuff. Even this panel looks pretty crazy. Just how it is, man. And then the things, and even the motion of his hand. He's like, he's trembling with fear right there because of the zap. He's telling him we will rise again, and the rocks are pretty cool. And there he is. He's running away. He's like, it was so tough a second ago, and then now he's like, oh crap, I need to get out of here. I like how Icarus and Margo are in this panel as well. And the first time I read it, I didn't really pay attention to them because I'm reading reading the words, and he's like, "Fool, you anger the gods to invite destruction," and you know, because he's out there yelling at them. The lightning is getting worse, you know. So he's out. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool panel. Let's see here. He's taking off. He's saying, "Hey, we got to get in here. We got to get in the tomb of the gods. It's the only safe place." Even the speed lines of him running past them, you know. And he's like, "Wisely spoken, Doctor. The air is filled for flying rocks and debris. We need to get out of here." And he's like, "The ancient gods' chamber is the safe. It's the safe. It can withstand any attack." And he's leaving these guys. That deviant guy, he is taking off. And they're like, "Yeah, strange the gods will react to such wrath with such wrath." He's like, "It's strange that they're reacting with such wrath. What's going on?" And Margo's like, "Icarus, you're eternal. Something like that, like a god yourself. Can't you do something to put a stop to this?" And he's like, "Yes, if I could read the thoughts of the gods, but that's beyond me. That's even beyond me. That's even beyond his power." And you know, he's got the shading. I don't know if I kind of like that. Maybe he should have not had all that shading, the shadow on his face. But he is behind her. She's in the foreground. He's in the background. But I don't know about the shading. You get a big picture of his face. Maybe he was running out of time, but Jack Kirby's quick. He's a quick artist. You get great shots. You get great shots like this, and the debris and the rocks flying and everything. And then I feel like he makes up for time spent on doing good stuff to put like a bigger panel like this. But it's still an interesting panel too. So we have this panel here, and this guy's part of the Deviant Crew, and he's like, "Your troops await you, Great Crow, and we can still escape. Our vessel is ready." And they're getting out of there, and he said, "Then I'm ready too." He's like, he's ready too, and we can leave these fools to their fate, and the fate's sealed as for you too, Crow. The gods will reach you wherever you flee. Icarus is like, "Look, your fate's sealed too. Wherever you go, the gods will find you. You can't escape that." He's like, "Think upon the gods, Icarus. The Incas worshipped them and vanished. Their hero Tecamanzin befriended the gods and vanished. Now you're come here and welcome them, and you'll be buried for your pains. So be it. Their risk of solving this mystery." You know, even he's talking about even the Inca guy was vanished, and he's going to be vanished in this tomb and buried. And he's like, "Well, I'll figure it out. I'll solve the mystery here." Because Icarus knows a thing or two about what's oncoming. This is a neat page too. So you know, you get the Inca, they're still in the Chamber of the Gods thing, and they still have their little escape craft. They're getting the heck out of here. And that's about it on that. They're talking, and then Icarus starts telling Margo and her father about how the Deviants actually ruled, and they had aircraft, and they had iron ships, and they just ruled. Look, they ruled the earth. They were the masters, and humans were like their slaves. And the Eternals didn't really step in and fight them. I guess they just let the Deviants kind of take over. I believe that's what he's saying. And then the Celestials came back, but the Deviants were full of themselves, so they were just, we're gonna blast them. So that did not work, and so the Deviants got defeated by the Celestials, and their civilization, their rulership ended. And he said, so why he, and this is going back to Noah's Ark, and he said, then I saw an ark, so I guess, it caused the great flood, when the Celestials come back. That's what he's talking about, the destruction. And it caused a great flood, and so Noah's Ark was there, and right here is Icarus, and he's talking about how they just followed him to, he was looking down on the mountaintops. However, myself managed to guide a great wooden vessel to safety when it discovered its carried cargo of humans and wildlife. Noah's Ark. And he's like, they were talking about, well, they thought I was a bird, and they followed the dove to the mountain or whatever. And they're like, are you telling me that you were around in that time, the ancient time? And then they're talking about how the Deviants probably could have been the devils and stuff like that, devils and demons. And then he leads them to this part, and he sticks he's like, I know the instructions. He sticks his hand in this chamber here. Oh, excuse me, I had a yawn. He sticks his hand in this chamber, and he opens it up. Let me zoom out again. But even that was pretty cool. Cool artwork. The hand in the chamber and stuff. Man, that was a lot of ad pages right there. Oh, it's like an internal talk or something, yeah. And here we go. He opens this thing up, and he's like, hide your eyes. And this is pretty, it's kind of a neat panel, because it's, it's going all over the place. And he's like, hide your eyes, Margo. Even the design of Margo, she just got that little tuft of hair, and he's a crazy old dude. And boom, here comes this dude. And he comes out of this portal, and he calls himself the Tanzaminian guy, but he's all in the Aztec gear, And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool panel. Some neat ads. But he's like, hey, you can call me, but you can call me Ajax, your friend. And they're like, he's an internal like Icarus, and they live long in ancient times, And he's telling them, hey, we must hurry, because Ajax is part of his deal. And he said we must hurry, and they don't really explain who these dudes are. They're like part of his crew or something. I don't know if these guys are Eternals too. We haven't really, they don't really explain too much. I like how their heads down. There's a lot in this panel. Even the background. Look at the background, the design, and the floor, and and even right here it's got designed, and his helmets are all the Aztec, the Inca design, even this, and a spaceship, and they man this spaceship, and the guy's talking like, hey, it's like a ground crew for the storage, it's like and he it's really neat. Oh, we're getting into another ad. So they're doing some work in their command panel, and he says, raise the panel up, and this thing pops out of the ground, a celestial comes down. I think that's why the celestials are mad. The panel thing, these guys weren't there to raise this thing up. That's why they were blasting the lightning up. And this thing pops down, the big giant celestial robot thing. And the leader of the fourth host lands firmly upon the pylon. He will stand upon it for 50 Earth years, towering like the surrounding mountain above all life below. And on the last day of the 50th year, he will step down off the pylon, and that day the Earth will live or die. And 50 years is a long time. Why couldn't they just make it like 50 days? Make the stakes a little higher. Heck, that old man's not going to live another 50 years. that old guy probably ain't going to make it another 50 years. It ain't going to be his problem, you know. So, anywho, that was Eternals number 2. I hope you enjoyed it. It's really neat. Hopefully somebody watches it and they might go get some Eternals, or they might be more interested in Jack Kirby's art. You can do me a favor. You can like and you can subscribe to the channel. And love you. Bye.